Hey, gorgeous souls. I'm Mia, and I'm about to tell you the most shocking best friend betrayal story that turned what was supposed to be the happiest day of her life into the most devastating public humiliation imaginable. For 10 years, I thought Sarah was my loyal best friend who supported me through everything. But when I discovered she'd been secretly sleeping with my fiancé for months while helping me plan my own wedding, I realized her upcoming wedding was the perfect opportunity for the revenge she deserved. See, Sarah thought she was so clever, stealing my man while pretending to be my maid of honor and wedding planner. What she didn't know was that I'd discovered her betrayal weeks before her own wedding day, and I'd been planning the most epic public exposure that would destroy her perfect moment in front of 200 guests. When I stood up during her ceremony with evidence of her affair, Sarah's dream wedding became her worst nightmare. This story has everything: y'all best friend betrayal, stolen fiancés, secret affairs, and the kind of wedding day revenge that taught a backstabbing friend what happens when you betray the wrong person. Are you ready for this wedding destruction? Because this is how you handle friends who steal your life while smiling in your face, beautiful souls. Let me take you back to what I thought was the most loyal, supportive friendship that was actually hiding the most devastating betrayal behind years of fake smiles and lies. I'm Mia Thompson, 28 years old, and for 10 years I believed that Sarah Williams was my ride-or-die best friend who would never hurt me or betray my trust. Sarah and I met in college at UCLA, where we bonded over late-night study sessions, relationship drama, and dreams of our future weddings and families. We're going to be each other's maid of honor, Sarah would say during our college years. We'll plan the most amazing weddings for each other and be best friends forever. You're like the sister I never had, I would tell Sarah, believing we had an unbreakable bond of loyalty and trust. After graduation, we both moved to Los Angeles and maintained our close friendship through career changes, dating disasters, and life milestones. Sarah's the most loyal friend anyone could ask for, I would tell people. She's been there for me through everything and always has my back. Sarah worked as an event planner, which made her the perfect person to help with wedding planning and relationship advice. I know everything about weddings and relationships, Sarah would boast. I can spot red flags and help you avoid mistakes in love and marriage. When I met my fiancé Jake Morrison 2 years ago, Sarah was the first person I called to share my excitement about finding the one. Sarah seemed thrilled about my relationship with Jake and positioned herself as our biggest supporter and relationship cheerleader. Jake is perfect for you, Sarah would say after spending time with us. You two are such a great match, and he's obviously head over heels in love with you. I'm so happy you found someone who treats you right, Sarah would add. Jake is definitely husband material, and you're lucky to have found true love. Sarah became heavily involved in our relationship, often joining us for double dates, couple activities, and weekend trips. Sarah's like our third wheel, but in the best way, Jake would joke. She's such a good friend to both of us. When Jake proposed to me 8 months ago, Sarah was the first person I called, and she seemed genuinely excited about our engagement. I'm so happy for you, Sarah screamed when I called her with the news. This is going to be the most beautiful wedding ever, and I can't wait to help you plan everything. I want you to be my maid of honor, I told Sarah immediately. You have to help me create the perfect wedding day. Sarah threw herself into wedding planning with enthusiasm that seemed genuine but was actually covering her ulterior motives. Planning your wedding is going to be so much fun, Sarah said. I'll use all my professional expertise to make sure your day is absolutely perfect. Sarah helped me choose vendors, select my dress, plan the menu, and coordinate every detail of what was supposed to be my dream wedding. Trust me on these decisions, Sarah would say when making vendor recommendations. I know the best photographers, florists, and caterers in the city. Sarah also insisted on being heavily involved in pre-wedding events and couple activities. I should help coordinate your bachelorette party, bridal showers, and engagement celebrations. Sarah volunteered for everything. That's what best friends and maids of honor do. Sarah would often suggest activities that required Jake's participation or presence. We should do couples cooking classes, Sarah would propose. It'll be fun for you and Jake to learn together, and I can help coordinate everything. Let's plan a weekend trip for engagement celebration, Sarah would suggest. I know the perfect romantic getaway spot. Looking back, there were warning signs about Sarah's true intentions that I completely missed because I trusted her completely. Sarah started paying more attention to her appearance and wardrobe when she knew Jake would be around. You look really nice today, I would comment when Sarah was dressed up for our casual hangouts. I just like to look good, Sarah would explain. You never know who you might meet or what opportunities might come up. Sarah also began asking detailed questions about my relationship with Jake and our future plans. How are things with Jake? Sarah would probe. Are you completely happy with everything? Any concerns or doubts? Do you and Jake ever fight or have problems? Sarah would ask. Every relationship has issues, and it's healthy to discuss them. Sarah started suggesting that Jake and I needed space and individual time to maintain healthy independence. You should encourage Jake to have guys' nights and personal time, Sarah would advise. Couples need breathing room to appreciate each other. Maybe you should travel alone sometimes or have separate social activities, Sarah would add. It keeps relationships fresh and exciting. I thought Sarah was giving me good relationship advice, not realizing she was creating opportunities to spend time alone with my fiancé. Sarah's so wise about relationships, I would tell Jake. Her event planning experience with weddings gives her great insights into what makes couples work. What I didn't know was that Sarah's relationship expertise was actually her strategy for stealing other women's men while maintaining her innocent best friend facade. Gorgeous souls. The truth about Sarah's betrayal came crashing down when I accidentally discovered she'd been having an affair with my fiancé while helping me plan our wedding. 3 months before my wedding date, I started noticing subtle changes in both Sarah and Jake's behavior that made me feel uneasy. Jake began working late more frequently and seemed distracted during our time together. I have a big project at work that requires extra hours, Jake would explain his absences. This client is really demanding, but it's important for my career advancement. Sarah also became busier with wedding vendor meetings that seemed to happen at odd times and locations. I need to meet with the florist this evening, Sarah would say. These vendors have such crazy schedules, but I want everything perfect for your wedding. The photographer wants to do a consultation over dinner, Sarah would explain another evening meeting. It's annoying, but good vendors are worth the inconvenience. Jake and Sarah also started having private conversations and text exchanges that they would stop when I entered the room. Just discussing surprise wedding details, Sarah would say when I caught them whispering. We don't want to ruin any surprises for the bride. Wedding planning stuff, Jake would add dismissively. Sarah's helping me coordinate some special touches for our big day. The truth was revealed when Jake left his phone at my apartment during one of our dinner dates. Jake forgot his phone. I noticed after he'd left for his late work meeting. I should call him and let him know. When I picked up Jake's phone to call him from my phone, I saw multiple text notifications from Sarah that were clearly not about wedding planning. Can't wait to see you tonight, baby, one message read. I've been thinking about you all day. Last night was incredible. Another text said, I love you so much, and I can't wait until we can be together openly. My heart was racing as I realized the messages were romantic and sexual, not professional wedding coordination. I opened Jake's text conversation with Sarah and discovered months of intimate messages between my fiancé and my best friend. Scrolling through Jake and Sarah's text history revealed that their affair had been going on for 4 months, almost the entire duration of our wedding planning. I can't believe how amazing this feels, Jake had texted Sarah. Being with you is so different from being with Mia. You're everything I actually want in a woman, Jake continued. Smart, sophisticated, and understanding in ways Mia could never be. I love you too, Sarah had replied. Mia's so naive and boring compared to what we have together. I can't wait to end things with Mia after the wedding chaos dies down. Jake's messages revealed his plan. Then we can start our real relationship without all this secrecy. The messages showed that they'd been meeting secretly during wedding planning sessions and work events that were actually romantic dates. Meet me at the hotel after you drop me off. Jake would text. Tell her you have vendor meetings or something. I told Mia I'm working late on wedding planning. Sarah would reply. We have all evening together. Most devastating was discovering that Sarah had been actively sabotaging my wedding while pretending to help plan it. I booked as the honeymoon suite at the Ritz for next weekend. Jake texted Sarah. Mia thinks I'm at a bachelor party in Vegas. Perfect, Sarah replied. I told Mia I'm visiting my sister. We can have a romantic weekend pretending we're the ones getting married. I can't wait until this wedding is over and I can dump Mia. Jake's messages revealed. Then we can plan our own wedding for real. The vendors you recommended are all friends of yours, aren't they? I realized Sarah had been steering my wedding planning toward vendors who would help facilitate her affair. The photographer knows about us. Sarah had texted Jake. He's going to take some private photos of us at Mia's wedding venue for our portfolio. Sarah had been using my wedding planning as opportunities to scout locations and vendors for her own future wedding with my stolen fiancé. Instead of immediately confronting Jake and Sarah, I decided to gather more evidence and plan the perfect revenge that would expose their betrayal publicly. They've been planning this deception for months. I realized they deserve a public humiliation that matches the scope of their betrayal. I started documenting every piece of evidence, screenshots of text messages, photos of them together, and recordings of their phone conversations. If they want to destroy my wedding, I'll destroy something even more important to them. I decided while developing my revenge strategy. I discovered that Sarah had gotten engaged to her longtime boyfriend Marcus just 1 week after Jake and I got engaged. Sarah's wedding is in 6 weeks, I realized. She's been planning her own wedding while helping me plan mine and sleeping with my fiancé. Her wedding day will be the perfect opportunity for revenge, I concluded. She wants to steal my happiness, so I'll destroy hers in front of everyone she cares about. For the next 3 weeks, I continued acting normal while secretly collecting comprehensive evidence of Jake and Sarah's affair. I hired a private investigator to photograph Jake and Sarah during their secret meetings. Get photos of them together at hotels, restaurants, and any romantic situations, I instructed the investigator. I need undeniable proof of their affair. I also recorded phone conversations where Jake and Sarah discussed their plans to end our engagement after the wedding. Once we get through Mia's wedding, I'll break up with her and we can be together openly. Jake's recorded voice confirmed their strategy. I can't wait to stop pretending to be her best friend. Sarah's voice revealed her true feelings. Mia's so trusting and naive. She has no idea what's coming. I prepared a comprehensive presentation of evidence that would expose their affair to everyone at Sarah's wedding. They planned my destruction for months, I reflected. Now they'll experience public humiliation that matches their betrayal. Beautiful souls. Sarah's wedding day arrived, and while she thought she was marrying her loyal boyfriend Marcus, I was about to expose her affair and destroy her perfect day with the truth about her betrayal. Sarah's wedding was held at the elegant Biltmore Hotel in downtown LA, with 200 guests including family, friends, and professional colleagues. I arrived early as one of Sarah's bridesmaids, maintaining my fake supportive friend facade while preparing for the most satisfying revenge ever. Mia, I'm so nervous and excited, Sarah gushed while getting her hair and makeup done. I can't believe my dream wedding day is finally here. You look absolutely beautiful, I told Sarah while secretly knowing her perfect day was about to become her worst nightmare. Thank you for being such an amazing friend and helping with all the wedding planning. Sarah continued her fake gratitude. I couldn't have done this without your support. That's what best friends are for, I replied, thinking about how she'd been sleeping with my fiancé while accepting my help with her wedding. Jake was attending the wedding as my +1, completely unaware that I'd discovered his affair and was about to expose him publicly. This should be a beautiful wedding, Jake commented while adjusting his tie. Sarah and Marcus seem really happy together. Yes. Sarah's very good at maintaining appearances, I replied with double meaning that Jake didn't understand. I had carefully planned my revenge to happen during the ceremony when all guests would be present and focused on the bride and groom. I need to use the restroom, I whispered to Jake during the pre-ceremony mingling. I'll meet you inside the chapel. Instead of using the restroom, I went to the wedding coordinator and requested to make a special toast during the ceremony. I'm Sarah's maid of honor, and I have a surprise speech prepared, I told the coordinator. Can you give me the microphone after the vows but before they're pronounced married? Of course, the coordinator agreed. Surprise speeches from the wedding party are always so touching. I had prepared a comprehensive presentation using the chapel's audiovisual system to display evidence of Sarah's affair. This will be a surprise the bride will never forget, I told myself while setting up my evidence presentation. As guests took their seats and the ceremony began, I watched Sarah walk down the aisle in her beautiful white dress, knowing her perfect moment was about to be destroyed. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate the union of Sarah Williams and Marcus Chan. The officiant began the ceremony. Sarah looked radiant and happy, completely unaware that her affair was about to be exposed to everyone she cared about. Marcus appeared genuinely in love and excited to marry Sarah, not knowing his bride had been cheating with her best friend's fiancé. If anyone has a reason why these two should not be wed, speak now or forever hold your peace. The officiant reached a traditional challenge. Actually, I do have something to say. I stood up from my seat in the front row, causing murmurs throughout the chapel. I'm sorry to interrupt this beautiful ceremony, I announced while walking toward the altar. But there's something everyone needs to know about the bride before she gets married. Mia, what are you doing? Sarah asked in panic, her face going white as she realized her perfect day was about to be ruined. I'm being the loyal friend you never were, I replied while taking the microphone from the shocked officiant. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to share some important information about Sarah Williams and her true character. I began my speech to the stunned audience. For months, Sarah has been having an affair with my fiancé Jake while pretending to be my loyal best friend and maid of honor. I announced the devastating truth. Gasps and shocked murmurs filled the chapel as guests processed what I was revealing. Mia, stop this. Jake stood up from his seat, realizing his affair was being exposed publicly. Sit down, Jake, I commanded. Everyone deserves to know what kind of people you and Sarah really are. I activated the chapel's projection screen and began showing photographic evidence of Sarah and Jake's affair. These photos were taken over the past 3 months, I explained while displaying images of Sarah and Jake kissing, holding hands, and entering hotels together. Here's Sarah and Jake at the Ritz-Carlton during my bachelorette party weekend. I showed a photo dated the same night Sarah claimed to be visiting her sick grandmother. This is them at a romantic restaurant during Jake's supposed work conference. Another photo revealed their lies. The chapel erupted in shocked conversations as guests saw undeniable proof of the affair. Sarah, is this true? Marcus asked his bride, who was now crying and unable to deny the evidence. Marcus, I can explain. Sarah tried desperately to salvage her wedding. This isn't what it looks like. Actually, it's exactly what it looks like, I continued. And I have audio recordings of their conversations planning to end my engagement after using me to plan their affair. I played recorded conversations between Sarah and Jake discussing their affair and plans to destroy my relationship. Mia's so naive and trusting. Sarah's voice played clearly through the chapel speakers. She has no idea we're in love and planning our future together. I can't wait to dump her after all this wedding drama dies down. Jake's voice revealed his true intentions. Then we can be together openly and plan our own wedding. She's been helping plan my wedding while I'm sleeping with her fiancé. Sarah's recorded laughter filled the chapel. It's almost too easy to manipulate someone so trusting. The audio evidence completely destroyed any possibility of Sarah denying or explaining away her betrayal. Sarah, you've been lying to me for months, Marcus said with heartbroken anger. You've been planning to marry me while having an affair and mocking your best friend. Marcus, please don't let this ruin our wedding day, Sarah begged desperately. I love you, and we can work through this. There's nothing to work through. Marcus replied while removing his wedding ring. I can't marry someone who's capable of this level of deception and cruelty. Gorgeous souls. Sarah's wedding day collapse was just the beginning of her complete social, professional, and personal destruction as 200 witnesses spread the word about her affair and betrayal throughout LA's social scene. The chapel erupted into chaos as Sarah's family and friends processed the revelation of her affair and betrayal. Sarah, how could you do this to your best friend? Sarah's mother asked in horror. We raised you to be better than this. This is the most disgusting behavior I've ever witnessed, Marcus's father told Sarah. You've humiliated our family and destroyed our son's trust. The wedding is over, the officiant announced. Under these circumstances, I cannot proceed with the ceremony. Sarah collapsed in her wedding dress, sobbing as her perfect day turned into the most public humiliation imaginable. Mia, please don't do this, Sarah begged through tears. We can talk about this privately. Don't ruin my wedding day. You ruined my entire relationship while pretending to be my friend, I replied coldly. Your wedding day is just the beginning of the consequences you deserve. Jake tried to leave the chapel quickly, but guests blocked his exit to express their disgust with his behavior. You're a coward and a cheater, wedding guests told Jake. How could you betray someone who loved and trusted you? Sarah's family was mortified by her behavior and the public exposure of her affair. We're so ashamed of Sarah's actions, her father told Marcus publicly. This doesn't represent our family's values, and we apologize for our daughter's betrayal. Sarah has brought disgrace to our family name, her mother added. We stand with Marcus and Mia as the victims of her cruel deception. Marcus's family was equally disgusted and immediately cut all ties with Sarah. Thank you for saving our son from marrying someone capable of such cruelty, Marcus's mother told me. You prevented him from making the biggest mistake of his life. Sarah's friends and bridesmaids were shocked by the revelation and immediately distanced themselves from her. We had no idea Sarah was capable of this, her bridesmaids told other guests. She's been lying to everyone while planning this elaborate deception. Sarah's event planning business was immediately destroyed as word of her affair spread throughout LA's wedding industry. Sarah Williams is known for having affairs with clients' fiancés. Warnings spread among wedding vendors and venues. She used her professional position to facilitate her own affair while sabotaging her best friend's wedding. Industry gossip destroyed her career prospects. Wedding venues canceled Sarah's upcoming events and terminated her vendor relationships. We cannot work with someone who demonstrates such unprofessional and unethical behavior, venue managers announced. Sarah's business reputation was permanently damaged, making her unemployable in the wedding industry. Multiple wedding guests recorded videos of the affair exposure and posted them on social media within hours. Bridesmaid exposes bride's affair during wedding ceremony went viral on TikTok and Instagram. Maid of Honor's perfect revenge on cheating best friend became trending content across platforms. Sarah's public humiliation was viewed by millions of people, permanently destroying her social reputation. This is the most satisfying wedding revenge ever. Comments praised my exposure of Sarah's betrayal. Sarah got exactly what she deserved for betraying her best friend. Social media users celebrated the justice. Jake's affair exposure also resulted in professional and personal consequences that destroyed his life and law. Jake's employer learned about his behavior through social media coverage and questioned his character and integrity. We expect our employees to demonstrate honesty and ethical behavior in all aspects of their lives. Jake's company reviewed his employment. Jake was passed over for promotions and eventually forced to find employment elsewhere due to his damaged reputation. Jake's family was also horrified by his behavior and publicly supported me over their own son. Jake's actions are inexcusable, his parents told mutual friends. Mia deserved better than our son's betrayal and deception. The experience of exposing Sarah and Jake's betrayal was ultimately empowering and healing, allowing me to move forward with truth and dignity. Discovering their affair was devastating, but exposing their lies publicly gave me back my power. I reflected on the experience. I received overwhelming support from friends, family, and even strangers who admired my courage in exposing the betrayal. You saved yourself from marrying a cheater and helped Marcus avoid the same mistake. Supporters told me. Your revenge was perfect because it was just truth-telling. People praise my approach to seeking justice. I use the experience to build stronger, more authentic relationships with people who valued honesty and loyalty. After Sarah's betrayal, authentic friendship feels like a luxury. I told new friends about my trust standards today. 1 year after the wedding day destruction, Sarah and Jake are still dealing with the consequences of their affair and betrayal. Sarah moved to San Francisco to try rebuilding her career and reputation, but the viral nature of her exposure follows her online. Sarah Williams' affair scandal appears in Google searches, affecting her professional and dating prospects permanently. Jake also relocated to another city but continues to face professional challenges due to his damaged reputation. Jake Morrison cheating scandal affects his LinkedIn profile and professional references. Sarah and Jake briefly tried to have a relationship after destroying their previous commitments, but their affair-based connection couldn't survive public scrutiny. Relationships built on betrayal rarely survive when the excitement of secrecy is gone. Their breakup confirmed this truth. Marcus and I became friends bonded by our shared experience of Sarah's manipulation, and he's now happily dating someone who values honesty. Sarah's betrayal taught us both valuable lessons about character and the importance of authentic relationships. Marcus reflects, that's how you handle best friends who steal your fiancé while pretending to help plan your wedding, gorgeous souls. You expose their betrayal publicly and let them face the consequences of their own actions. Sarah thought she could destroy my relationship while maintaining her innocent facade. Instead, her own wedding day became the stage for her complete destruction. Sometimes the best revenge is simply telling the truth and letting someone's own behavior destroy their carefully constructed lies. If this story resonated with you, if you've been betrayed by friends who stole your relationships, smash that subscribe button and share your own friendship revenge stories in the comments. Hit that notification bell for more betrayal justice content. And remember, trust your instincts, verify suspicious behavior, and never let anyone steal your happiness while pretending to be your friend.